Picture this. You're standing on a tube platform at 8 in the morning, watching people sprint past you toward a train that's already pulling away. They're breathless, stressed, carrying laptops they probably can't afford, chasing something that was never really there. That's most people trying to make money online. They want the penthouse flat before they've learned to pay rent. They're hunting for passive income like it's a Pokemon card, completely skipping the part where you actually develop a skill worth paying for. It's like trying to get to Canary Wharf when you're still figuring out how an Oyster card works. Here's what nobody wants to hear. The reason you're struggling online isn't because you need a better strategy. It's because you're trying to board the wrong train entirely. You're looking for the glamorous stuff, the Instagram-worthy businesses, the things that sound impressive at dinner parties. Meanwhile, there's this incredibly boring, unglamorous skill sitting right there that could change everything. Appointment setting. I know. It sounds about as exciting as waiting for the tube at 6 p.m. on a Monday. It doesn't have the sparkle of dropshipping or the mystique of affiliate marketing. It won't get you invited to speak at conferences or make your friends think you're the next tech billionaire. But here's the thing about boring. Boring pays rent. Think about it this way. Everyone's trying to build the entire railway system when they could just learn to drive the train. They want to own the platform when they haven't figured out how to help people get on the right carriage. Appointment setting is like being really good at making sure people don't miss their stop. Not glamorous, but absolutely essential. The truth is, appointment setting is the Oyster card of online income. It's not impressive to look at, it doesn't photograph well for LinkedIn, but it gets you moving. And movement, not momentum, is what most people actually need. They're standing still, paralyzed by choice, overwhelmed by possibility, when what they really need is just to start walking in a direction that makes sense. Let me explain why everyone gets this wrong. The online business world has this obsession with scale before skill. It's like trying to buy furniture before you've found a flat. People are building sales funnels for products that don't exist, creating content for audiences that aren't listening, optimizing websites for traffic that isn't coming. They're solving problems that are 3 steps ahead of where they actually are. Appointment setting flips this completely. You're not creating demand, you're organizing it. You're not building an audience, you're working with one that already exists. You're not inventing a product. You're connecting people who want to buy with people who want to sell. It's like being the person who knows exactly which carriage to get on for the quickest exit at your stop. Useful, valuable, and surprisingly rare. Here's what appointment setting actually is, because most people get this completely wrong. It's not DM spamming. It's not pretending to be someone's assistant when you're sitting in your kitchen in Croydon. It's not manipulation or trickery or any of the dodgy stuff that makes you feel like you need a shower afterward. Real appointment setting is more like being a really good concierge. Someone walks up to you and says they're interested in something specific. Your job is to connect them with the right person at the right time in the right way. You're the calm middle point between interest and action, between attention and revenue. You're not creating chaos, you're organizing it. Think about the last time you actually wanted to buy something significant. Maybe a new laptop, maybe a course, maybe some kind of service. You probably spent time researching, reading reviews, watching videos, getting yourself to the point where you were genuinely interested. Then what? You either bought immediately or you got stuck in this weird limbo of wanting to move forward, but not knowing exactly how. That's where appointment setting lives, in that space between interest and action. You're not convincing anyone to want anything. You're helping people who already want something take the next logical step. It's like being the person at the station who can actually read the departure board and knows which platform goes where. The beautiful thing about this is proximity. You're working right next to money, not 6 months away from money, not 3 funnels away from money, not waiting for an algorithm to decide whether your content deserves to be seen. You're literally in the conversation where money changes hands. When someone books a call because of your work, and that call turns into a sale, you're part of that transaction. You're not hoping something might work eventually. You're watching it work right now. This is why appointment setting is perfect for beginners, even though it sounds incredibly unglamorous. You need 0 upfront investment, no product development, no inventory, no website, no audience, no brand. You don't need to be an expert in anything except having conversations and being organized. It's like getting a job on the tube where they train you to do the work instead of expecting you to show up already knowing how to drive the train. Compare this to pretty much any other online business model. E-commerce, you need products, suppliers, inventory, customer service, returns, shipping, all before you make your first sale. Content creation, you need to build an audience, develop a voice, create consistently for months, hope the algorithm likes you, then figure out how to monetize. Affiliate marketing, you need an audience, trust, content, traffic, then hope people buy things you recommend. Appointment setting skips all of that. You're stepping into a moving carriage, not trying to build the train. Someone else has the product, someone else has the expertise, someone else handles the sale. Your job is to be really good at one specific part of the process. It's like being a specialist instead of trying to be a generalist before you've actually specialized in anything. But here's what makes this really interesting. The skill you develop doing appointment setting isn't just about booking calls. You're learning to communicate clearly under pressure. You're developing emotional control when people are difficult. You're understanding buyer psychology, objection handling, professional patience. You're basically doing gym reps for business skills without the pressure of running an entire business. This matters because most people jump into entrepreneurship completely unprepared for how psychological it actually is. They think it's about having good ideas or being smart or working hard. Then they discover it's mostly about being able to have difficult conversations, handle rejection professionally, and stay calm when things don't go according to plan. Appointment setting teaches you all of that while someone else pays you to learn. It's also worth mentioning that appointment setting forces you to get comfortable with the fact that business is mostly boring. There's no magic, no secret sauce, no hidden strategy that changes everything overnight. It's just being consistently good at something people need, day after day, week after week. That sounds obvious, but most people struggle with this. They want the excitement, the breakthrough moments, the dramatic transformation stories. Appointment setting is like learning to appreciate a perfectly made cup of tea instead of always chasing the champagne moments. The money side of this is straightforward in a way that most online opportunities aren't. Businesses pay between £20 and £100 per qualified appointment, depending on what they're selling. Some pay more. You book 10 calls in a week. You've made more than most people earn working retail. You get good at this. You're looking at genuine flexibility and decent income without any of the complexity that comes with running your own business. But the real value isn't the money. It's the proximity to how money actually moves. You start to understand what businesses actually pay for, what problems they're genuinely struggling with, how decisions get made, what makes the difference between someone who buys and someone who doesn't. This is information that becomes incredibly valuable later when you do want to build something of your own. Most people approach making money online backwards. They start with what they want to build, then try to find people who want to buy it. Appointment setting flips this. You start by finding people who want to buy something. Then you learn exactly what that something needs to look like. It's like learning to read the map before you decide where you want to go. The other thing that makes appointment setting perfect for beginners is that it's genuinely ethical when done properly. You're not trying to convince anyone of anything. You're not using psychological tricks or pressure tactics. You're literally just organizing conversations between people who want to talk to each other. It's like being a really good matchmaker for business conversations. This matters more than you might think. Most people who try to make money online end up doing things that make them feel weird about themselves. They promote products they don't believe in. They make claims they can't support. They develop relationships with people they're just trying to sell to. Appointment setting, when done right, is the opposite. You're helping people get what they want. Everyone wins when the system works properly. There's also something to be said for learning a skill that works regardless of trends. Social media platforms change their algorithms, marketing strategies become saturated, technology disrupts entire industries, but businesses will always need help connecting with potential customers, and potential customers will always need help finding the right businesses. Appointment setting sits right in that permanent space where supply meets demand. The progression from appointment setting to other opportunities is also natural and logical. Once you understand how sales conversations work, you can handle them yourself. Once you understand what businesses pay for, you can create those things. Once you understand buyer psychology, you can build better products. It's like learning to be a passenger before you learn to drive, then learning to drive before you try to build cars. Most importantly, appointment setting teaches you that business is about solving specific problems for specific people at specific times. Not about building your personal brand, not about following your passion, not about disrupting industries or changing the world, just about being useful in a way that someone is willing to pay for. That sounds simple, but it's the foundation everything else is built on. Here's the thing about boring. Boring is predictable, predictable is reliable, reliable is profitable, and profitable buys you options. Those options might include starting your own business, investing in other people's businesses, taking time off to actually think about what you want long term, or just having the security that comes with a skill people consistently pay for. The reason most people struggle to make money online isn't because they're not smart enough or creative enough or dedicated enough. It's because they're trying to skip steps that can't be skipped. They want the result without the process, the destination without the journey, the house without laying the foundation. Appointment setting is foundation work. It's not glamorous. It won't impress anyone at parties, but it's solid ground to build on. You don't need the perfect business. You don't need a revolutionary idea or a unique angle or a personal brand that stands out from everyone else. You need a first step that actually moves you forward instead of keeping you busy in place. You need to learn something that businesses pay for while you're learning it. Appointment setting isn't your forever identity. It's your first step, but it's a first step that points in the right direction, teaches you skills you'll use everywhere else, and pays you while you figure out what comes next. In a world full of people running toward trains that aren't really there, that's probably exactly what you need.